In my crumble opinion.
Take one.
I love the fan.
Are we starting? Okay.
Yeah.
This is off to a great start.
Okay. Hi, my beautiful crumb dumpsters. Welcome to my crumble opinion. I'm here with a very special guest, my very first non-Latinx drag performer on the show, but second wig stylist.
You could have fooled me.
I know. Well, you can fool a lot of people. Actually, let's start there. You introduce yourself as the bisexual, biracial...
Jewish, bisexual, biracial, non-binary, trans femme wig stylist and drag performer, but I am not into labels. Exactly.
Oh, that's a good punchline. That's cute.
My very dumb bit that I
Yeah,
have.
that's great. So with all of those labels, you kind of like are between some of those labels. How does being biracial, bisexual,
Bicoastal,
mentally
ill. Oh, I forgot so many of them.
Yeah.
There's mentally ill in there. Those, well, like all of the bis like that I identify with, I feel like inform everything that I do in drag. You know,
Yeah.
I keep bringing white music to reparations. I keep bringing
reparations. Are you bringing white music to reparations this time?
Not
around?
this time.
Yeah,
not this time around. But yeah, I like to like straddle the line of things. I like to look like a woman but be awful. You know.
Yeah,
feminine
totally.
and masculine.
I've noticed that about you.
Yeah.
Since you brought up reparations, when is the next reparations?
When does this come out? So the next reparations is this Friday.
This will come out tomorrow.
Perfect.
Probably.
So it's
Don't hold me to
Friday,
that.
the 10th.
Yeah.
I think is the day. With Latrice Royale. It's Black History Month. We come loaded up with like no ones. Like just bring 20s.
And how much do white people have to pay to get into the show?
You like there's a
$300.
There's a minimum, I think, of like $20.
Okay.
But the maximum, the limit does not exist.
So is your fee prorated? Like when you go, since you're half white?
No, they tried to negotiate that, but we settled on 3/5.
Okay. Oh, that's a Black History Month joke. Good job, Shiksa. She also does stand up. Apparently.
Thank you. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Tell us, what are you wearing?
Oh God, what am I wearing? I'm wearing very old vintage clothes, barely holding together at this point. Very kind of a thin, non-stretch fabric, but it's in a cute fruity pattern that I love, and it's perfect for these gigs for like sitting down and talking.
I love it. You look gorgeous.
Thank you
look
so
stunning.
much. So do you.
You look so like statuesque compared to my short. Like you're a banana and I'm a lemon. But that's okay.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
Curved slightly to the left.
So, you mentioned being bi-coastal.
Which is
Denver is not.
It's not
on a coast.
I just found out.
Okay.
Somebody just informed me.
Yeah.
But no, I actually don't spend almost any time on the East Coast. So not bi-coastal,
Bi-regional?
Bi-regional.
Yeah.
Bi-regional, biracial, bipolar. Like it's
Not
in the
yet.
family. It hasn't popped up just yet.
Yeah. We're not sure.
And I don't want to stack that on top of like my existing prescriptions. So we'll see.
Well, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm very pro prescription on this show.
Mental health.
Yes, exactly. But tell us about the Denver scene, and how does it differ from San Francisco, and how's it similar?
It's funny. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Just because I went
to
back
your
and
therapist?
visited. Yeah, mostly her. She's actually very clued in on like the inner workings of drag, despite not going to any shows. But
her sessions with you is the show.
Yeah, just me going off, and of course that kind of makes me the main character in her mind, which is perfect.
Yeah,
but I've been talking about this a lot because I actually just went back and visited Denver in the last week, and so everybody, like, for the first time flipped that question, was like, how does SF compare to Denver?
Okay.
And I just feel like the main thing is like size. Like, I feel like when it comes to queer communities, like drag communities, nightlife communities, like size makes a huge difference.
Size matters.
I mean, it's size matters. I can't believe I missed that one. Size matters a lot just because of like the availability of opportunities and resources. So especially for like drag and nightlife, Denver is full of some of the most like creative people I've ever met. Like, I don't think there's any lack in any small city in America of like really talented queer people.
Yes.
What matters is whether or not they're like motivated to be a part of their scene. Yeah. And in places like Denver or smaller cities, like there are just not enough venues and not enough opportunities. So I think like a lot of drama and the issues that come from that, like people just cannibalizing each other's like shows and and wanting to get themselves ahead, which is just naturally what happens like in capitalism. But
are there like aesthetic differences, or do you feel like small queer communities kind of like echo these larger city?
They definitely echo, but I think it comes down to quantity. Like when I think Denver has a little bit more of a like alternative twist to its like shows and the looks of the people who work and perform there. But I also think that like if you had a scene that was twice as large, you would see like dancing queens and pageant queens of all kinds like blossom out into different categories. I think that like Denver often looks like whoever has the biggest shows right now.
Gotcha.
So it's like back in Evie's era in Denver, like she worked for Trax, which was this big dance nightclub. So like nightclub pop music kind of drag really came into vogue, and then
is that how you describe Evie's drag?
Well, it based on the venue that she was performing at, and so she used to be a little bit more pop music than she is now, only because of the place that she was required to perform, being like very nightclubby. But then I think as like when Willow Pill became like the rising star of Denver, weird, freaky, vintage clothing and like hilarious mix kind of drag started to bubble up to the forefront. And now I think they're kind of in like a dancing queen, more like pop music kind of era again.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It shifts back and forth just because like people leave and come to the town so often.
Do you think there's something special about Denver, like having two very recent Drag Race winners hail from there?
I think it's just weird. Like I think Colorado and Denver are just like really weird places to be. Like the elevation gets to people's minds, and like
did you run cross country?
I did not. Well, actually, okay, so I signed up for cross country because my mom was like, you have to have a well-rounded resume or whatever for college, and so I signed up and I got all the expensive equipment and the spikes and everything, and then never went. I just kept skipping the practices.
That's lovely.
But then I didn't have to be home till like...
You wasted your mom's money.
Yeah.
Like you're doing now.
Exactly. But what's even worse is it's mine. But yeah, skip them entirely. But cross country, again, big Colorado cultural thing.
Yeah. Is that high altitude?
That's what I don't understand.
I hear because like there's more blood platelets.
No,
I don't understand.
There's less because it's like there's less oxygen, there's less air.
But like your blood is like holding on to whatever oxygen it has.
I don't know
really
about my
well.
blood. I think I've got bad blood.
I don't know. I don't run.
Like back in the old days where it's like, oh, she's got bad humors.
Yeah.
She's passing away.
Yeah, you do bloodlettings, and
that's how I've
you
been.
Put leeches on yourself?
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind
how many leeches are you now?
See each of these dots?
Oh.
They're kind of concealing one.
Oh, there you go. That's the smell. Okay. You?
What the fuck is next?
I actually have to like decipher this chicken scratch because this is Angel's writing, and she's not as
yes, you're overworked, underpaid producer.
She's not paid. No, I pay her. I pay her.
Pay her back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's right. She knows how she gets paid. So Barbra Streisand just announced that she has a memoir coming out, and the memoir is called "My Name Is Barb." Wait, what were you gonna say? 3 people
have mentioned this.
Oh, have they?
It's come up so many
times.
Well,
you branded yourself as a Barbra impersonator.
My mom called me, just to make sure that I knew.
Yeah.
But yes, no, it's very exciting. My Name is Barbra is also one of her older albums.
Yes.
Cool. So it's like it just makes perfect sense. Like it's going to be really fucking cool because Barbra Streisand has been around for so long
time. I wonder what span of her life it's gonna cover. Do we know anything about it?
I hope it's the whole thing. We know nothing about it.
Yeah,
it might not even be finished being written.
Yeah.
Because
like your relationship to My Name Is Barbra is like mine to like Marvel's Quantumania that's coming out. Like we don't know what's gonna happen.
We have no idea.
I've been watching all the YouTube
video
essays on it, fan theories.
Yes. But no, it's cool because she's such an industry gal and has known everybody for so long and is such a crazy person.
Very crazy.
That the content of the book is going to be great. Like, she's obviously going to like drop hot gossip, but it's going to be like her twisted take on it.
Do you know the term the Streisand effect?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Can you explain it for the viewers at home that don't know what the Streisand effect is?
The term was coined it's basically like what happens when you really don't want people to pay attention to something. And so as a consequence of that, they just really want to pay attention to it. And it was coined because back in some point in the 2000s, Barbra Streisand built this big, beautiful, ridiculous like chalet on the coast, I think around Malibu-ish, and was very vehemently like, I don't want anybody to take pictures of my home. She's very, very private, and she was like, everybody fuck off. And because of that, the press just decided to swarm her house and like mount helicopters and boats and stuff to take pictures of it. And so now that's used to describe like anytime you invite undue attention.
Have you ever tried to cover something up but ended up getting more attention on yourself?
Yes. Well, I started with my eyebrows, and it's kind of gone out to the whole face.
That is the Streisand
effect.
exactly. Like a nice visual representation of that.
My drag is very much like Streisand affected. As I started out not wanting to do this, and now I use it to hide and to get attention.
Yeah, I love that on this channel you get to learn things about the world, like the Streisand effect and why Shiksa's the way she is. Full of bad humors and has bad humor. Is the originator of that term, all of which is true. What would be the name of your memoir?
My memoir? Ooh. Oh no. I suddenly can't remember any one of the events of my life to even start thinking about it. I don't know, something with like mess involved. It's no longer part of my like drag name or anything.
Why did you drop that?
Hot mess, I think, is up there. So I only really officially dropped the mess last name recently. Like, I've gradually been trying to go towards the mononym.
Was mess something you came up with, or was that like... were you a part of the House of Mess?
No, so never part of the House of Mess, and that's kind of why things have changed. So, it was something that myself and a friend came up with when I first started drag, just so that I had a first and last name, and I felt that was very necessary. And then since then, I like have gotten the comment, especially like during competitions or from drag producers occasionally, of like, oh, well, she certainly lives up to her name. Like the host of a drag show will be like, this girl, she lives up to her name. Shiksa Mess. And eventually, after a certain point, I was no longer a mess. Like, I was kind of put together and I looked nice and I had my shit down. And so it started to annoy me that people said that. And that's when I was like, let's try just Shiksa. Especially because I looked it up and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the world doing drag under that name. And then I'm going official with it more recently because I have been adopted into a drag house. And
Who's a drag house?
Well, it's a drag house that uses a prefix rather than a last name. Okay. So I was like, perfect. I can get rid of mess, and I am now the one and only Shiksa. My Rexy? Drag mother is Rexy.
Oh.
Yes. And I've now joined the sisterhood.
I saw that on your Instagram handle. I was like, is she House of the One and Only now?
Of the One and Only. I guess this is like the official announcement. I was supposed to win that damn pageant and say it up there on the microphone, but...
Well, we don't need to talk about that pageant, but that's lovely. We can, and we probably will. But that's but not yet. But that's great. How did you become a part of that house? That's exciting news.
Well, yeah, it was mainly through Rexy, who I met at Oasis. If nobody knows, the one and only Rexy.
What a great kind of like way to name your kid. It's so good.
It's so great because nobody has to like tack on a last name that doesn't fit. Like Shiksa blank. Like, I didn't like. Shiksa Mess works as a joke, and then I was like, oh, great, I can still be just Shiksa. Yeah. And then have the one and only before it. Perfect. Because people always, like, they use that in the intro anyway. And so I basically just got familiar with Rexy through Oasis, and just, we really connected on, like, a deep level. And she, like, helped me out with a bunch of the pageant stuff, and has, like, talked to me about a bunch of different, like, gender and transition things that, like, and we've connected over that. And then, I don't think I am allowed to talk about it in great detail, but there's a new weekly gig coming up at Oasis that Rexy like has started and has been working on this big new project. And when she looped me in on that show, she was like, "Welcome to the family. Let's just like make it one big official thing."
Oh, that's gorgeous! Yeah, I'm so excited for you.
Be on the lookout for new shows coming up. I don't know what the timeline is. Towards the end of the
We
month,
can't
though,
say the
everybody
name.
should know I should not.
We don't know the day of the week.
It's definitely Thursdays.
Okay.
And yeah, be on the lookout for
Monthly?
the end of February.
Weekly.
Weekly.
Ooh, weekly.
So yeah, be on the lookout for Thursdays. Starting
Watch
at
out,
the end of the
Tito.
month. Yeah. Whew.
No, I'm just kidding. Please, we love you.
We love you.
We love gatekeepers on this show. And now you're a gatekeeper.
I hope so. I'm
Okay.
still not in any sort of position to keep
Yeah.
gates.
So you're keeping the mononym Shiksa.
Yeah.
Or as Mojo says, Shiska.
Or yeah, anybody who attempts to say it.
Yeah. That's Yiddish for what?
It's Yiddish for it's kind of like a semi-derogatory term.
Okay.
For the not Jewish girl that you don't want your son to marry.
Uh-huh.
So it's like
Yeah.
you can date a shiksa in college, but hopefully you're not going to marry her.
Yeah.
And I converted to Judaism, so I thought it was like a fun little stint.
Yeah.
It's a name that connects with like being an outsider.
Yeah.
You know.
That's great. And it's reclaiming, it's like also slightly misogynistic. Or
Oh,
not
yeah,
even slightly.
totally.
But yeah.
Well, no, yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
is. 'Cause it's a term that's mostly used by like Jewish mothers and
Mhm.
grandmothers, but
Yeah.
that really is just because they don't want their sons dating certain women and they
Mm-hmm.
have bizarre relationships with them.
What are some other Yiddish words we can learn from you?
Oh, some other Yiddish words. Well, there's the first thing that I think of when you
Mhm.
ask that is they did this on Nick at Night when they would show The Nanny, is they would have little commercial breaks where they taught some of the Yiddish words that were used on the show.
Oh,
So the
okay.
first one was plotzing. So it's like, oh my god, I'm plotzing. It's like, I'm so excited, I'm celebrating for you. It's like, oh, you're having a baby, I'm plotzing. I'm just
I'm
and
plotzing.
It means I'm bursting or exploding from the
Okay.
inside.
Oh.
And then
That's good.
yeah.
I'm going to use that. I'm plotzing.
Oh, I'm plotzing.
plot-
I'm gonna
Oh,
plot.
I'm so close to plotzing.
Oi. And then and then I think a good one.
Oh,
too
I
is
can see why a Jewish mother doesn't want her son to marry you.
a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Or any mother.
But a lot of Yiddish is like really weird, like semi-sexual little words like that, because
Okay.
it's a combination of Hebrew and German, because
Okay.
they had to keep moving for unexplained reasons. And but besides that, like the male version of Shiksa is a Shegitz.
Shegitz?
But nobody really uses that
Yeah,
because
I
Jewish
haven't heard
girls are either lesbians or date Jewish guys.
Okay.
And then the more gender neutral terms are like the goyim are non-Jewish people. So if like at gender neutrally, you could be a goy,
Okay.
goys and gals.
Yeah.
Yeah. For just for Gentiles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. Any other ones? Well, you said there's some more sexual ones, but
There's
give
some,
us a
I'm
a
trying to
naughty
think
one.
of some more sexual ones. It's like the one that everybody
Like
knows
how
is
do you
like.
say like rusty trombone? I'm just kidding.
See,
I don't know.
That sounds complicated. I'm not sure if they had that at the time in
that's
Eastern Europe,
That's
Middle
old
East.
as Mesopotamia, baby.
Absolutely, it's an ancient one.
It's an ancient-
I'm not currently.
They carved that into
familiar.
tablets.
I currently write dick in English, so
Okay.
I am gonna have to learn the new language.
What are some of your favorite like sex phrases that you use?
Sex phrases.
Yeah,
Oh, I
like-
love I love the phrase slobbing a knob. Slob
Slobbing
on
a
knob.
knob.
I think that's one of my most favorite things to say.
Yeah, slobbing a knob.
Yeah, and ironic, and I like in a semi-ironic way because it's so popular now. I think it's very funny to. We're gonna get. There's no chance of you ever being monetized, but I
No,
think it's,
no,
think it's
slobbing the knob is actually like the Nickelodeon.
but I
That
think
sounds
it's
very Nickelodeon.
Funny to talk about loads lately.
Loads.
Like
Well,
gay
like-
men are so into to loads right
They
now.
love doing
Hashtag
laundry.
No loads refused. Yeah, because your laundry machine is so spacious.
Yeah.
So
No
like
loads refused.
that's like my favorite.
I do refuse loads.
You should occasionally, unless, you've put in the proper preparation, you've
Yeah.
bought the right Maytag,
Mhm.
you should refuse
Yeah.
loads. You should be discerning,
Mhm.
certainly.
Fixing a broken washing machine is it's expensive.
It's really difficult.
It's really difficult to get a tech over there.
I don't know what
Sometimes
is
you have to wait for
acceptable-
parts to get ordered.
I don't know what's acceptable on YouTube. I don't use this.
Almost nothing that happens on this show is permissible.
Perfect.
But like nobody's watching it, not enough people are watching it. That it's fine. It's the Wild West wherever we are in YouTube.
Yes, we'll continue to take loads.
Okay, well, what we're gonna do is take another little short break. We have some cute like interstitial slides and stuff. I forgot to tell you that I did partner with a designer. His name is Hey Beefcake on Instagram. That and he's really talented, and enjoy the cute little visuals that we got now. Okay, thank you. What?
Bumper.
Bumper. Oh, it's a bumper, baby. Bumper, baby.
Oh,
It's a bumper, baby. Okay.
Bumper baby.
Okay. Welcome back to In My Crumble Opinion. I hope you enjoyed that short little break that we took.
The interstitial.
Yeah, the interstitial parts. Somebody texted me is like, oh, I made the what was it? Somebody texted me interstitial, but I read it as intestinal, and I was like very confused. Anyways, they're very
different.
They're very different concerns.
Yeah,
but very similarly spelled words.
Yeah, interstitial concerns are not as immediate.
Mm-hmm. No, they take time to digest. I don't know. I'm not the stand-up comedian. You're the stand-up comedian.
I'm sitting.
That's dumb. Okay, well, welcome back. This is the segment in the show where people that aren't familiar with Bay Area drag get to enjoy drag queens talk about drag they are familiar with, and that's RuPaul's Drag Race season 15.
15.
And we're barreling through. Last season, it took at least this long to get rid of somebody.
But we have more
But now
queens,
we've gotten rid of a lot of people.
Though. We have one extra queen. There's going to be a double save. There always is.
Who's going to be the double save?
Because, the thing...
What's your prediction?
The thing with Drag Race now is that you can't predict it because the double save is always useless.
It is.
And it is to keep somebody for editing, purposes and for producing purposes. So it could be anyone. It could be any old person that none of us like that they want to keep.
Always feel like they do a double save and like the subsequent week there's a better lip sync.
Oh yeah.
That should have been used as
the double save is purely a producing tool at this point and nothing else. Because I cannot think of a double save since Evie and Brooklyn that made any sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatsoever. And then before that it was still a couple years.
Yeah. Well, before that we had Tatiana and Alyssa.
That was one that made sense.
It made sense.
Exactly. And so ever since then they have not been very
How do you feel about double Shantays? Do you feel like it's cruel?
Double
or do you feel
elimination? I wish there were more.
Or not Shantays, double sachets.
I wish there were more.
Oh.
There have been lip syncs this season. That should have been a double sachet.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Listen, I love Princess Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
I love her deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally enjoyed her lip sync to the Diana Ross song.
Okay, yes.
Because I am a goofball, and she did it in a very goofball, unserious way. But people are right that it wasn't the correct vibe to do a Diana Ross song in front of RuPaul.
in front of the wrong person.
In front of RuPaul, and I think that could have been a double elimination.
Yeah.
If they weren't gonna, my choice would have been Poppy, but if they weren't gonna keep her any longer, which they were not going to, send them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they wanted Amethyst for Snatch Game, and she did well.
And she did fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. You're very opinionated already. I'm very nice girl when it comes to Drag Race. I could be meaner. Should I be meaner?
You should be meaner.
Should I be meaner, guys?
Yeah. I'll turn the bows on this wig into horns.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I would love that. Actually, the horned wig that you made for Diana,
so cute.
She's getting a lot of mileage out of it, but it's so fucking cute.
And it holds together.
Yes. No. Unlike this piece of shit you made. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been 3 years.
No, it actually is held up really well.
It really has. The curl pattern is perfect.
I'm actually so cautious when I wear style wigs. They're not for dancing.
And I would like to take this moment to put in a PSA that if you commission a wig that is a nice, expensive, styled wig, and then you proceed to do not very nice, not very expensive or classy things in your wig, and then you ask me why your wig no longer looks expensive and classy, that's not my problem or my fault. So please take care of your wigs like Phoebe Cakes does. Yeah. Simply put them in
3 years old.
Put them in a net. Yes, put them in a net.
Net your wigs.
Them.
I net them as soon as I get home.
Or can I offer an alternative? Net up and pay for a retouch.
Or pay to have your wigs re-zhush because it costs less than getting a brand new one.
Yeah, net up before you net up.
Anyways.
Okay, so this week's challenge was girl groups with a twist. They had to age themselves up. Golden girl groups.
Very
What did you feel? How did you feel about that?
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's like a drag classic to
Mm-hmm.
like be an old lady. Like that's just a fun thing that like drag queens do.
Mm-hmm.
For like a random theme night. I love it. Like I've always identified as like an older woman in drag anyway. So I'm like, oh, I would have had fun with this. And I think a lot of people had fun with it. I
hated it.
Well, there were a lot of layers to it. It was
There are too many layers. I wanted
the genres
one layer.
and being old and the groups being so large was like, it was too much. They needed to pick one or
they need to pick 1 or 2 layers, maybe not 3 layers. I love the different genres because then you could have like the tension of
and
like,
that reminded me of like
them.
season 8 where it's, like they had like rock and roll and then the disco like bands and everything. Like I like that.
Street Meat, is that the song?
Street Meat, Street Meats. But like having all of those like twists became very complicated. And you only have 45 minutes in the episode.
That's true. And well, selfishly, my favorite challenge is these girl group or like musical challenges. Mm-hmm. So it's just like I wouldn't want to like be doing this other thing as well.
They're spinning a lot of plates.
Yeah.
And my personal thing with the girl group and singing challenges is I hate, like this is a thing that they should take from Drag Race UK, is I hate them recording their voices and then lip syncing to the recordings.
Oh, really? You don't like that?
It should all be fucking live.
I like
Just
that.
make it live. I love the idea of a lip synced musical that's like pre-made tracks sung by professional singers when they do like the musical ones. And then when they're singing live, like just let them sing. You know? I don't, because I feel like there's so many critiques that are purely just like, you didn't know your words. I wrote them yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, even if you write the words,
well,
it's
that's
pretty difficult to do that.
People will be going up there like, I don't remember.
And that, to me, seems like perfectly fine. Because it's like they wrote them yesterday. They should just be able to sing them out loud.
Yeah.
It's a lot less steps of, like, memorization.
That's true. Okay.
That's me personally, as a singer.
I like, yes, as a singer. We're all
and
singers.
It weeds out
We're all singers here.
It weeds out who's actually bad as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, singing live is a different skill. Even for people that have good voices. I mean, like, singing live is, like, challenging.
And it's apparently very difficult on Drag Race because almost no one has pulled it off.
Lucy LaDuca famously had a great...
Take the corset off. That's what I have to say to everybody singing on Drag Race. Take your corset off.
Wait, Monet...
Take the corset off.
She sang with the corset on.
But she also sang in her lower register.
It's true.
So it's a very slightly different.
Yeah. Who, to you, is an example of good singing on Drag Race?
Good singing on Drag Race? Ooh, who has been, like, really...
Jinx?
Good. Jinx is incredible.
Yeah.
She pulled off her talent show really amazingly. And, I would have to say Jinx is the best one because even in Can I Get an Amen?
Yeah.
She's iconic.
Oh,
can I get an amen?
We don't have the rights. Don't do that. Don't.
I don't think they do. But she, because she has a very high quality voice, but is also very funny.
Yeah.
And
totally.
Great
choices.
Talks when she needs to. She's very good.
Mm-hmm. Out of this season, if you had to choose 4 other performers with you to do this challenge, who would you choose?
Who would be my team?
Who would be your team?
Mistress Isabel Brooks, Sasha Colby.
Okay, obviously.
Lucy LaDuca.
Yeah.
And then I guess I have to get a young girl in there somewhere.
Marsha Lux.
Marsha. Yeah, because Marsha's really like, this is the challenge for her. It's she had a hard time on the other parts of the television show this week, but she's a musical theater actress.
Yeah,
like
great.
I would go with
you
people,
and Marsha would be friends.
I would go with people like me. I don't know about friends.
No, really.
There's a reason I don't currently do musical theater.
Okay, yeah.
But we would have a lot of references to share.
So
references of share.
Who do you think did well this season? Do you agree with how the judging panned out?
What was the judging?
Angel, what was the judging? Okay, so highs were Sasha Colby, Aura Mayari.
Yeah. Oh, Aura won. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I think Sasha
who was the third? Mistress was the third top? Were there 4 tops?
Yes. The 4 tops.
Yes, there's 4 tops.
Down. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah.
Please stop singing songs. I know no one watches this.
That one is public domain.
People are Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, sing it, baby.
It's fair use. It's under like 5 seconds.
Okay, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I would have wanted Sasha to win. this challenge in
I
particular.
thought Sasha won.
She
to
was
me,
hilarious.
not only hilarious, that voice she did.
Yeah!
Her flow.
That's an example of somebody that is not necessarily an amazing live singer, but killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah, absolutely killed it.
Happy for Aura, though.
And yeah, happy for Aura. She's got to get something in before she goes. But besides that, I mean, that was my thing with this particular girl group challenge. It's like not a lot of people were memorable. Except, I guess, like, Lucy was amazing.
Lucy was really good. That song, the hip-hop song, was the worst. I
remember watching it and really enjoying myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the girls themselves were, like, wonderful in it. But, like, musically, I thought it wasn't as strong as...
Yes, they got the worst song.
Yeah.
I think. And that, again, is up to production.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lame. But, yeah, I think Lucy and Sasha knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But Lucy just won something. They got to spread the love.
Yeah. Lucy and Sasha knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
What did you think of Marsha?
Again,
your musical theater gal.
Very just, like, kind of fine. I think she, like, fell to the back amongst her group. Yeah. But, like, her vocal performance, her abilities on stage are, like, clear and obvious. And that's not something to be fucked with. Her looks are a huge problem.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, actually. They're a very small problem.
They're
very small looks.
Well, how would you diagnose her fading into the background as far as the...
Wear better clothes. Wear better clothes. Wear bigger clothes. Wear more clothes. Like,
bigger,
that's it.
I think it's bigger.
Yeah, as somebody who recently started identifying as small and beautiful, I have taken with me my times when I was not small and beautiful, and I've continued to dress well, and I think that she has always been small and beautiful, and so she needs to begin to dress well. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
What would your tie-dye look be?
Oh, my tie-dye look? Oh, well, that's the thing is I love tie-dye. So I was like, I was automatically overwhelmed with ideas that I would do for this. But I think, like, I loved Aura's tie-dye that was black and, like, bleach rather than the traditional, like, rainbow color.
I loved her tie-dye.
And so I see myself doing, like, my traditional silhouette, which is basically, like pretty dress that cuts down across the side and has like the asymmetrical train, and having it completely lined with feathers that are also tie-dyed.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's one thing that I loved about Lux's
textures
look.
Yeah,
Lux's look, who's created by this designer in
Lux's look was so good.
I'm so mad it didn't get critiques because it was amazing.
Yeah.
And it's created by this incredible Brooklyn designer who I've been following closely, and they posted all the process pictures, and the idea of putting the same tie-dye pattern on the feathers as on the dress is brilliant. I probably would have done that of like a sheer dress down the side with a ton of just like big voluminous dyed ostrich feathers. Obviously that'd be ridiculously expensive. But I think that Lux pulled that off the best. Like, and she tie-dyed her hair to match it all.
Oh,
like
I didn't notice that.
I thought it was very high fashion and very cool.
Lux looked amazing. I agree.
And I would have done a similar vibe, but not so strappy. She can show all kinds of like leg.
Who's disappointing?
Who's disappointing of the looks? Well, obviously Marsha. I get what she was doing, but it's like if you can't see the tie-dye, if you can't see the differences in color, then it's like barely even. It's just dying.
Yeah, even if the blood tie-dye was just more differentiated.
She should have done like red and pink, like red and a bright pink would have been cool. And so hers was lacking, and a lot of them, I think a lot of them were just unmemorable. Like there were a lot of highlights, but I wanted somebody to go full ass 70s. Like Lucy looked fine.
Nobody did 70s.
But I wanted huge bell bottoms.
Oh yeah.
Like huge ridiculous Studio 54
giant joint.
Exactly. Like go all the way with it. Yeah. You know, because it's like your immediate thought is like a crunchy hippie with like big pants and a tie-dye shirt. Like I would have probably taken that idea and tried to drag it out times a million.
Who's gonna win this season?
Who's gonna win this season? If God is still there, Sasha Colby.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Sasha is God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if all is right with the world, it would be Sasha Colby. And I wouldn't be mad at like Lux is doing really well. And Lucy's doing really well, and Mistress is doing really well.
Yeah.
Like those, like, yeah, Mistress and Lucy, I think, also take it for me. This whole season is very much like old versus new, and not like old people versus young people. It's like
because Mistress is like a year older than the twins.
She's the same age as me. Yeah, but she's so experienced. Like she gives experience. She gives
does.
Like she's just very well put together, old-fashioned drag. And so I feel like that's who they're pitting against one another. Mm-hmm. So I would have to pick all the old-fashioned girls, which is going to be Sasha, Lucy, Mistress, and then I think of the young gals, Lux is the standout. Yeah. But it's like Spice isn't making it there.
Have you worked with any of the girls that are on this season?
No, not directly.
Who would you like to work with?
Of all of them, I would love to meet Sugar and Spice.
Ah, me too! Oh my god!
Listen,
okay, I wasn't even yes.
I think that their run on the show is not the most amazing thing in the world, but I think that they seem fun. And
who's hotter, Sugar or Spice?
They love drag so much that like I would love to be around them. Who's hotter, Sugar or Spice? It's Spice. It has to be Spice.
Yeah?
Yeah, because
Sugar's hotter.
Really? I would actually have to see them again next to each other out of drag.
I can't choose. Don't make me
because
choose.
There's really not major differences. I remember one episode being like, oh, I can kind of figure out which one is which. I think Spice is the most, like, just, like, cunty and feminine and symmetrical and perfect, which is why I, like, lean towards her. I think that Sugar's face is, like, based off of Spice's vibe. You know, like, I feel like Spice probably did drag...
I actually don't know what that means.
Well, I feel like Spice probably did drag first.
Yeah.
And, like, very, very well. And then and then together they were like, oh, shit, let's do this as a team. And it feels like Spice is literally, like, an inch ahead of her.
Do you have a twin? Do you have someone that you coordinate with?
No, I definitely killed her.
Mm-hmm. You ate her in the womb.
I'm pretty sure she's all taken care of. Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine two of me.
Oh.
Terrible.
Horrifying.
Bad for society.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I took care of that.
Okay, good. Thank God. Well, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back with our final segment. Can't wait to see y'all soon. Welcome back. I'm still here with Shiksa Mess, and Shiksa is a very accomplished wig stylist. Have you made wigs that made it onto the show? On Drag Race?
A few.
Which ones?
So I started with Willow's package. Very large, beautiful package. And she had me do the
mouse.
The mouse, which was big, beautiful gray hair. And then she did that old lady look with the prosthetics that had the big buns.
Oh, yeah. You did that. Oh, my God.
Like black
that's
and
stunning.
white or something. And that was fun. Like, I made her this very old lady, like, receding hairline. And then the buns on top of it. And there were a couple of others that season that were just, like, small, minor ones. I actually made the wig that she wore for her entrance, the angle look, which is her, like, probably most popular one. But she put a fucking hat
on top of it.
She was like, I want you to make me, like, soft, beautiful, beachy blonde hair. And then then I saw it show up on the show, and I was like, what did you do to the wig?
It was a complete look.
She dried it out, threw it in her suitcase, and then put it under a hat. But that was technically me.
Yeah.
I was part of that iconic look. And then the more fun ones that I got to do were for Evie. So I got to help with, like, there was like a year between her getting ready and the premiere of All Star 7. So I did her wig for probably one of the most iconic Drag Race runways ever, which was the glow-in-the-dark runway. And she had the big mushroom outfit. And so I made a huge beehive out of dreadlocks. Like, she gave me very kind of specific instructions of how she wanted the dreads to be. And so I made them into that big, like, egg-shaped beehive with the two little tendrils. And she, like, I love Evie and the big, like, caged up do moments. So I made another one of those that was orange for her press junket. Like, when they did the press tour all the way around New York, they opened, like, the stock exchange, and they went on, like, the View.
They rang the morning bell.
Yeah, so a bunch of those were mine, because she just needed a bunch of, like, really nice wigs at the last minute. So she had, like, little horned ones that she wore on a couple different runways, and the orange one she wore in, like, the Saks Fifth Avenue window in New York City. And so I've been super privileged to work with those two.
Well, you're just, like, so talented. Oh my God. And also, like, gorgeous and beautiful and generous, because you've been telling me just to bring you a bag of wigs, and guess what? today's the day. I have a bag of wigs for you.
I love bags of
So
wigs.
let's just, what we're going to do is we're going to go through these wigs, and you tell me what you think you want to do with them. Because, like, I have no idea. I
see some fascinating colors in here.
Okay.
Is this like if they were for you?
If they're for the house.
For the house?
For the house of cakes.
Gotcha. So we can just throw them out.
So where did this wig come from?
That's cute.
One of Holly's.
This is one of Holly's. Okay.
Well, I did trim earlier this year. It must be what's left over.
What is this saying to you?
It's saying
sugar and spice, right?
It's saying piss play.
Piss play.
It's saying where is
Lady
like
Gaga?
the cap even?
I was kind of confused by that.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we have a lace front.
Ooh.
We have a lace front.
How deep?
Not a
lace?
lot of it. It's a shallow lace.
Okay.
I hate you. This would be a very easy, like, I love doing like ridiculous colors like this into like vintage styles.
Okay.
So, like just like a sexy, like long finger wave moment
Hollywood
that gets
yep.
fluffy at the end. Very
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, that's what we're gonna do with that one.
Perfect.
Good. Okay. Great.
Just throwing them into my bags correctly.
Oh. What a hideous color. It's
color
very
is
like
so
2002.
Popular.
It is.
Amongst drag queens.
It is.
Of the black root into the burgundy. And
you know what's funny?
Because
like we grabbed this from upstairs, but I also have like a black root into the. I guess it's not a burgundy, but
I think we as a community really need to reckon with like when do you need to wear a dark root? When should you wear a dark root? Do you ever need to wear a dark root?
Like it's like goth Y2K. Right?
Those are just words.
That's just saying things. Okay.
But just reconsider this entirely.
I'm getting stuck in these nets.
These are very important to keep.
Yeah. Not good for like
helpful.
help me.
For not good for nails.
Not
Rhinestoned nails.
Okay. Well, so what do you want to do with these?
This one I want to throw away. I hate there's so many shades of purple that are not meant to come from your head and that make you look strange. And that's one of them. But I would probably, in that case, I would probably turn it into something like a mullet. Like,
well, if you did like a bun thing like you did.
Yeah.
I think like the buns would be a different color from the roots and I don't know.
Definitely. I think like when it comes to like really wild colors like that, I would prefer to either put them in something like very, very normal. Yeah. Like that looks like, oh, somebody dyed their hair that color and then styled it into a mullet, or something totally ridiculous and sculptural like that with like
I think what would help is if we named these people.
These people?
Yeah. So let's pick it up again. Okay.
This is a drag queen I know. This is a drag queen I know. She is really into cosplay. And her name is like it's like something with the word star in it, right?
Astrid Aurelia.
Stop. I'm not gonna go there.
Okay. Is it even possible to style something like this?
Yeah, it looks a little plasticky. It does look a little plasticky, but that said, I'm wearing a very cheap plastic wig right now.
It looks great.
Thank you. There's some amazing things that you can do to wigs with a flat iron. That I actually
There's bangs though.
That I do not think you could even hit with a flat iron. This is like just visually, this is like Party City vibes, which means it's gonna melt under anything. So you put a hat on it. Put a hat.
Get this out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe steam it straight.
Okay, now we're into some really interesting.
We've got some lace fronts.
Yeah. So, oh my God, you're gonna have to hold these up. These claws are not
the way that It's not that she has like ridiculously intricate nails on. It's
no,
that,
but
like,
there's
she's reaching in there so softly and like not gripping it at all.
Well, the rhinestones keep getting stuck on.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a very classic cosplay green. This is Christmas Grinch green. Arta wigs. Is this an Arta wig? Hold on. It kind of looks like one. I hate this color of green.
I love it. You're being okay.
It's like Easter green. It's very.
I think slick back low bun.
That would be cute.
Maybe with like a.
I could see that definitely, like something. Ooh, yeah, like turning this into one of those like human hair dupes where it's
Yeah.
like a synthetic wig that you've just put so much mousse in and you've layered it perfectly that you can throw it around.
Ooh, okay.
Like wet hair would be cool because
Yeah.
also that would turn it into like a darker green.
Mhm.
And it would help mix up, like it has multiple different colors blended in there, and so that gives you the opportunity to kind of do a fake human hair
Fake human
moment.
hair? Okay.
Yeah.
What's her
definitely.
name?
Her name
Elphaba. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Great. We love tinsel in this house. I actually love the color. The
yeah.
like denim blue is so cool. Tinsel's so hard to work with though. So you can't do it, or you should like.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it really curly because the
Yeah.
tinsel doesn't take the curl the same.
Mhm.
So that I would do like keep it in the same texture. Honestly, not change that at all,
Mhm.
and then tease it so big to be like big, sexy hair that you can like think like Brooklyn Heights. She has
Okay.
like lightly waved hair that you can just toss, but it's huge and
Yeah.
double stacked. So like
Have
you
you
could do
worked?
something
Have
like
you worked
that.
with tinsel before?
I have tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
I have sewn it into a wig once.
Mhm.
But I do know that like it's pretty much impossible to do like a roller set
Okay.
with a tinsel wig because it does not turn into perfect waves like the rest
Yeah.
of the hair.
Gotcha.
It's quite difficult. But when you want to do like big sexy flashy stuff like that,
Yeah.
then it's usable. It adds something to it. I don't wear it
Yeah.
personally because it also ages poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you wear it 20 times, the tinsel starts to come undone because it's a different material.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And her name is Raven All Night, who I am currently up
Raven All
against in
Night.
the Denver Drag Diva Awards for Best Hairstylist, and she can turn a tinsel wig out, and I cannot.
Yeah.
So,
Can you hand that
this
to
one
Raven?
goes out to you, Raven.
Well, that's all the wigs that we have for you today.
Great.
But
Oh,
I
awesome.
have another bag for you. Don't worry.
Wonderful. And they're gonna be just as
Any
good.
last thoughts? Anything you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Madeline Ashton.
Who's that?
No, I'm sorry.
Is that a?
That's a reference to Death Becomes Her. How
Oh,
old am I?
Oh my god!
Like,
No,
what's going on?
I'm a bad gay. I've only seen that movie like twice.
Gotcha.
I need to, like,
You're
repeat
not,
watch.
Not on
Yeah.
the 12th, like me.
Are you more of a Meryl
Streep
Streep
or
or
Goldie
Goldie
Hawn?
Hawn?
I think I'm Goldie Hawn, but I am ultimately Meryl Streep.
I feel
I
like
can
I'm probably Goldie Hawn.
Yeah. I consider myself humbler
Mhm.
than I
Oh, you know what? I
Oh.
lied. We have a couple more.
Oh, we have more.
We have
I can
more.
talk.
Oh yeah, we could talk. We
love
could keep
to-
talking.
I love talking
Okay.
and not talking.
Grammys.
The Grammys.
What did you think? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I did follow it on Twitter, which is more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the Grammys don't need to be 3 hours long. None of these need to be 3
I mean,
hours
I was at work the whole time, so I got off work and just saw everyone's like reactions to Harry Styles.
Good old Harry Styles.
Name 2 Harry Styles songs.
Watermelon Sugar. And
That's Harry
You
Styles?
Don't Know You're Beautiful by One Direction. It's like, I would just like to reach out to anybody right now who may have been a Directioner in a past life, who may have listened to One Direction when they were in middle school, high school.
Is that what their fans are called?
Directioners, yeah. And I want to say, like, it was just a very surreal experience to have loved Harry Styles as a boy band member
Mhm.
and to watch him fall so far
Yeah.
as a person and a musician, and then win this award for virtually nothing, for doing nothing.
For doing
For
nothing.
doing less than nothing.
Giving nothing.
For being dressed and produced by untalented people.
How do you interpret his sentiment? This usually doesn't happen to people like me. What was the phrasing? Is that the phrasing? Close enough. Yeah. What did he mean
this
by
doesn't
that?
happen to people. That's a really good question.
Like, what do you mean?
This doesn't happen to people like him.
Like
Ugly
untalented people winning?
Yeah. Well, no, untalented people win all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
and specifically in this category versus Beyonce.
Mhm.
Because you got Taylor Swift, untalented.
Mhm.
Beck, untalented. And then who was the last one? Adele is the
Adele.
only one that was talented that was up against her.
Well, for the record, I think all those people are talented, but not nearly
Beck,
as
I
talented
dare you to
as...
send me a text message and address that. Because I don't think you're talented.
Well,
You're a loser, baby.
Beck,
So why
accept
don't you
the
kill
challenge.
me? Anyway.
Okay.
It made me very mad, just like everybody else.
I didn't watch any of the Grammy. I can't even talk about it with you.
It was just,
I don't know anything else.
The rest of it was like I didn't watch the rest of it. There were some really interesting clothes that people were wearing. Shania Twain looked amazing. I thought she looked really good.
I thought
do it like
I loved it.
Do the full drag.
I think the wig was wrong.
Sure.
But like everything else was good.
She has Canadian stylist, and so none of them are black.
Yeah.
Like, so she's gonna do her very best. I thought the outfit was amazing. Jasmine Sullivan was in a similar outfit that looked even better. And there were some interesting clothes, and there were a lot of really bad clothes. The one thing that I will say, Beyonce should have won the best album, but she should also have taken the time that she took to be late to the Grammys to change clothes, because the dress was not happening for me.
Oh, I thought it looked great. There's
the three materials: the mirror silver, and then the brown leather, and then the black fisting glove. I don't know. Maybe it's giving Renaissance a little. Yeah,
Renaissance, exactly.
But I didn't love it personally. And she was wearing no jewelry. No jewelry, not even
her skin
like a little...
is the accessory.
Sure. Okay, but then again, somebody zoomed in on her scuffed knees.
You're acting very directioner right now. The skin knees, yeah.
The scuffed knees. She was not running late.
She was not
in traffic.
Yeah.
And she took off her
necklace.
We've all
been there.
And she left it in the car.
Yeah.
Like, God bless her.
Bless her.
But she also knew she wasn't winning, so good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Who are your favorite Bay Area singers? That was like a shitty segue.
Bay Area singers, number one, Katya Smirnoff-Skye.
Oh my god. Period.
That is like looking into the future for me, is watching Katya Smirnoff-Skye
Her singing
perform.
Is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But her real talent...
I want your romance.
Her real talent is the mic work. The way she effortlessly goes between songs, works the crowd, song, crowd.
I'm dead ass serious. If you do not live in the Bay Area and you happen to come here and you see a show poster that has Katya Smirnoff-Skye listed on it, and you like music at all, go to that show. I am obsessed with her. I cannot wait to become that. Very soon.
Close.
It's gonna take like 5 years. She is incredible. Besides her, it's all the singers I've honestly seen at Pillows at Powerhouse every Monday. Lambert, who comes around all the time, is incredible. Very good. Like, can sing the same songs over and over again, but elicit like completely different emotional experiences from each audience member.
That's jazz, baby.
Every time, it's just an unbelievably good jazz voice. And the other, like, if I'm to do a top three, Adriana Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, resident queen at Beau. Once again, somebody who sings the same exact song every single week. But I live.
Yeah.
Like, she turns on Diamonds by Rihanna at the end of every single show at Beau. And it's the original song. It's not a karaoke track.
Wow.
And she's singing with it and over it. And she fucking kills it. Every time. And my ass, like, whether I'm in drag and sober and just there like working, or out of drag and not sober and just like being gay and living, I watch that number from start to end, and I love it every single time because she loves it so much, and she has a beautiful voice, and it's so cool.
Singing over a track, that's crazy.
I love that. I've been wanting to get on
that's the thing to do.
Exactly, because even if you're not feeling so great that night, you have at my birthday dinner.
Oh my god, not again, James Charles.
I know.
You know,
stop inviting.
Yeah, my sexuality is not an escape room. Actually, that when Tati said that that was genius.
She is a genius.
She is a genius.
She's a mad genius.
Christian genius.
It's a special category.
Yeah.
First of all, great name for a drag king. Christian genius. Yeah. Very like religious. Pivoted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Only Creed songs.
Christian Science reading room.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that. Our battery did cut out for a little bit, but we did get to catch up about a few things. Final thoughts. What's going on? We talked about reparations. Reparations is coming up. Anything else you want to plug?
Be there or be racist.
COVID.
I'm sorry. No, but there's a lot of fun. I'm sorry. I was looking at you laughing for a while, and it really got me. Not a huge amount of things to plug, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
so I'm going to be in Cake Hole next week. Phoebe's
Yes.
wonderful show. She just remembered. That is at Gilman Brewing Company in Berkeley. And then
I did just remember. I need to send you the flyer and add you to the group.
because I'm not on the flyer and wasn't put in the group.
Think so.
Okay. But besides that, you can find me a lot of different places all the time.
You're not on the group
I
night?
don't know.
Oh my gosh. I'm very disorganized right now. I've been burning the candle wick at both ends, but I'm very excited to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
I definitely did remember you were in it. And just kind of like, I feel so bad.
And hey, I believe you. So I also, you can catch me all kinds of places, but if you are looking for a wig, follow me on Instagram at badwigsf. I'm officially going to become a business this year, so buy a bad wig, Bad Wigs.
Does that mean
LLC. I guess I'll be like a sole
paperwork?
proprietorship. Yeah, I have to start paying taxes, and I'm not going to go into any more detail
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, no, that's fine.
Not on video. But my commissions are opening in the next couple of weeks. That is the way that I make most of my money, and I want to make sure that everybody around here has good hair, so I can ship like anywhere in the U.S., wherever you're watching this, within the U.S. And if not, we can figure it out, and that is like what I'm trying to focus on in the next few months, the next year.
Lovely. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you can catch me at Cake Hole on the 18th, starring Shiksa, No Longer Mess, the
hosting.
one and only Shiksa.
Yeah, I'll be hosting and producing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And getting all the money, just stealing it.
Yeah, I'll be taking the money. I'll be distributing the money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be really fun.
Super fun.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for tuning in. Oh my god, I love you so much.
I love you. Thank you for having me. This is so silly. If Phoebe asks you to do this, ask for money.
Ask for bookings, ask for money, ask for the world.
Yeah.
Be denied.
I know.
Be denied.
Yeah, ask at least for Angel to get a mic.
Come on, Christian Genius.
Yeah, Christian
Genius is so funny. Anyways.
And cut.
We gotta sign off.
Cool. We end every episode with uncut.
Did Sally think of that?
No, I think it just keeps happening.
Yeah, you were just looking down and it came
Uncut.
to your mind. Yeah.
I actually am cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's really brave.
To admit that.
We're
cutting.
I thought we were cut.
Demonetized.
I'm just always bantering.
In my crumble opinion.